to leave. I love Coach Brown, and so it's sort of unfortunate that we didn't have the success we should have had. But again, with any change, there's a lot of new stuff, and so I really look forward to it. I think a lot of the changes have been good, honestly. New players, new coaches. So it's change is always hard, but there's been a lot of good out of it too.
And there is continuity there, like the coach teachings and coach meetings. That certainly helps.
No, it does help for sure. I know with my freshman class, there's only 2 other guys that are still left, and so that's been sort of kind of crazy, honestly. You know, I'm only going to my 4th year, and the amount of guys that are on my freshman team, and now it's maybe 5. So it's pretty crazy.
That's how it is now.
What kept you there? Like, I'm sure after Coach Brown says he's stepping aside, there had to have been, I'm sure, calls coming to you, and then the thought of like, okay, is this still the place for me? What kept you there?
Yeah, whenever a coach leaves, you for sure have to reevaluate your position. You know things are going to change. When a new coach comes in, a lot's going to change, and it did for us. So for me, it was sort of just let's sit back, let's reevaluate, let's wait on us to hire a new coach. And then we get the news that the greatest coach of all time is going to come to Chapel Hill. I think that made the decision pretty simple for me.
So you were just, when he gets hired, you're all in, or did you want to be like, well, let's see how spring ball goes with this guy?
Yeah, I mean, I was all in. I was committed to being there. Obviously, today's day and age, like, you got to do what's best for you, and so I guess in a scenario, spring ball went very poorly. Could have looked elsewhere, but clearly it didn't. I really enjoyed it.
The last thing I had for you is you're a good football player. You played at Power 5 school. You're used to attention. Coach Belichick is famous, not just football famous. You know, you can turn on CBS or go TMZ and find stories about your coach. How have you guys kind of insulated yourselves to that?
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, a lot of that stuff is not talked about with us. You know, you see things on social media, and then you step in the building, and nothing's different from, whatever may be posted here and there. So we haven't really let it affect us at all. We've been head down, focused on football, and focused on standing where our feet are. And so,
so you've got like friends or family. They're like, what's going on?
Yeah, you get that. You get a lot of just, hey, how is Coach Belichick, and more just the curiosity of what's it like to play. And those are great questions, and there's a lot of attention around it, because when I go somewhere for the first time, or talk to people I haven't talked to in a minute, that's usually the first question you get. So
you were talking
well, I
about
appreciate it.
You mentioned how much turnover there has been on the roster, but in the DB room, there are still a lot of veterans there, guys like Caleb, Marcus, younger guys like Malcolm. How important has that been to sort of retain a lot of that talent while also bringing in guys like that?
Yeah, that has been really good. I think the DB room is one of our strongest rooms on this team, with guys that coming back like Caleb Koss and Marcus Allen, myself. And then you guys got great new players like Thad. Coleman Bryson's a great player. And so continuity is good for sure, especially when you got a position room and a DB room that requires a lot of chemistry and leadership on a defense. If the DBs mess up, it's usually an explosive play, and so we got to be on top of our game. So having that continuity, having guys you played with, me and Caleb Koss and Marcus Allen are really close. And so when we step on a field, it just feels natural and comfortable.
When you go into this, 4th year, you were talking in there about, leadership and wanting to be a leader, things like that. I guess from a football perspective, in what ways do you maybe see the field a little bit differently? How do you understand the game differently than maybe your first year or your second year?
Yeah, I'll just say, like I was touching earlier, you sort of just see things, you see more than just your responsibility. You sort of see how it fits into a bigger puzzle. Understanding the entire defensive scheme, and understanding what stunts are in front of you, where the linebackers fitting, what are the corners doing. Just be able to help people out, and if they don't know, but also being a safety and being in the back end of the field, a lot of things happen in front of you, and being able to anticipate, since if the D line's going to stunt inside, the ball is probably going to bounce. And in the college game, and really in the pro game too, it's like every little step matters. So being efficient and not wasting steps to knowing exactly what's going to happen in front of you and be able to anticipate stuff. I think that's really helped me grow my game over the years. Something I've improved on since my freshman year.
Sure. And then what do you hope personally as well to kind of maybe outside of stats or anything like that? What do you hope to get out of your last year at North Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, I hope to have fun playing football. I think football is such a fun game, and sometimes you can lose that fun aspect of the game. And I feel like I've really found that again, through spring ball and as the summer's approached. I think this is going to be one of the most enjoyable experiences I'll have of my life, honestly. And so, just to take every day and not like rush past a practice or try to move on. Just each and every game and each and every day is a crazy and great opportunity for me.
Well, I hate to do this again, but we talked about your Falcon fandom. I need to get this for video. So, basically, here you are facing the coach who caused you your greatest pain growing up. How have you been affected by that? I mean, has it come up, or just how have you dealt with it?
Yeah, I grew up a Falcons fan, and so that 28-3, blowing the lead, that was not fun as a fan. But and the moment he became our coach, I forgot that game even happened. So we haven't discussed that. I have no bitterness towards him or towards the Patriots because of it. I'm excited to be on his side of the ball now.
Will, what's something that we don't know about Coach Belichick that maybe only you guys on the team know? Like a fun fact or just something you learned about him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about too many fun facts. Just one thing is just like he's really funny, I think, and it's maybe it's because of his kind of steady tone. And he'll just pop a joke and you'll be like, was that a joke? And the whole room will start dying laughing. He's pretty clever in the way he thinks of stuff, and so I would say that's one thing. But I don't know about too many random facts.
What's something we're not talking about enough with this UNC defense?
Man, I would say, I'll honestly say our secondary. I think just from the spring ball we had, the amount of depth we have too is really impressive to me. Obviously, there's been a lot of guys that maybe don't have as much experience, especially at the safety level. But again, like any program, man, like those guys are going to have to play a role for us. And so I think our DB room is really strong. We got me and Thad here representing us today. That's just two of the guys that we have, and we have a ton of great players.
Well, this year, the obviously house settlement kind of came down, and changes to rev share, changes to NIL, things like that. Is anyone at UNC, whether a coach or maybe just a different representative, are they kind of coming in telling you guys this is what the difference is going to be, anything like that? Like, how much have people kind of been communicating to you with the practical changes?
Yeah, I think we've actually had great communication with the new rule changes. It's important when things change and you don't even know. And you could be, I guess, breaking a rule and not even know it. And so we've been informed on all the, the new compliance things and issues and the way we have to report things now. And so it's been very clear communication, which I think is really important in this day and age with everything changing, every other week.
Yeah, man. And how has NIL just as a whole, impacted, bettered, whatever your college experience? I mean, it's pretty much been here your whole time. So how has it kind of, impacted your experience as a college?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of good from NIL. Obviously, compensation for the players has been fantastic. I think it's been able to, inspire guys to kind of grow their brands, whether that's on social media, trying to connect with different local businesses has been really cool. But it's also just created a bunch of change, and you got to kind of understand that in the locker room. Understanding, man, when you're dealing with guys, what's important, making sure football is the top priority and not something else. But with our new team, we got 70 new guys. Just developing relationships, with guys and not just focusing on just football or just money or whatever it is, man. Focus on the person.
So, Will, someone of Coach Belichick's caliber coming in and leading our team, what's that like? And to add to that, does he have like a specific one-liner or anything like that?
Yeah, having Coach Belichick's been awesome. It's been really cool. There's not many other people with his caliber, honestly. It's him, and at this day and age, no one's got 8 Super Bowls that's coaching college football. That's for sure. And so it's been great. Everything he says is very valuable, and you understand why he's had so much success. Just the knowledge of the game he's had. But there's been, you know, a one-liner. There's a lot of he'll throw up the film and on the team room, and it'll just be, what are you effing doing here? And just kind of asking you questions that you can't even respond to. Like, Coach, I'm sorry, I messed up, but that's all you gotta say.
Will, this is your third defensive coordinator that you've been under. How does this system, how is it going to be different if Tar Heel fans are wondering what's the biggest difference between those previous systems and this year?
Yeah, I think we're going to play faster, honestly. I think there's going to be less thinking and just the ability to play fast and fully understand the defense will make us a better unit. We've got great players on all three levels of the ball. I think the safeties specifically have freedom. I think our disguise are going to be really good. I genuinely think the offenses kind of won't know what to expect each and every play just because of how much we can change it up.
You talked about the depth in that room. You know, how has the competition been for you guys at safety and maybe what you've seen at the cornerback spot as well? How have those competitions been playing out with so many talented guys and a mix of, you know, talent as well as the experience from the transfer?
It's been great. I think that's one of the biggest changes I've seen in this program is the level of competitiveness. It's pushing me every single day to compete with other safeties in the room. I know even outside of the DB room, every position is up for grabs. We've got new guys at every position, we've got new staff, and so there's not one position that's just locked because, you know, you started somewhere else, you started here last year. Everything's got to be earned right now. It's really true. And so, man, it's just increasing everyone's level of play.